Hello everybody and happy Halloween! It's only the best holiday of them all. So today I thought I would do something fun and festive. So I did go and steal a couple people's blood, but that's not what we're filming today. So today I am going to be ranking horror movie villains based on whether or not I could kill them. Which, I mean, I could probably kill them all, but I will try and be realistic about this. Not that any of these guys are realistic. Trust me, you should not believe what they show you in films. So let me show you how I've decided to rank these villains today. So right at the bottom we have, I ain't touching it. I know my abilities, and my abilities are pretty good, but there's certain supernatural things that, I ain't touching it. And then we have, could kill with a friend's help. A big advantage of being a part of the league is that when you get stuck, you got some buddies to rely on. Mainly Twice and Derby. I mean, does Spinner even do much? In the middle we have it would end in a draw, so you know, we're pretty evenly matched. And then second to the top we have would kick their butt but let them live. I have respect for some of these people. I admire their work. I would fight them to prove that I could beat them, but I would spare them. And then right at the top we have, I could drink their blood like a Slurpee. Because some of these are pretty weak compared to me. So let's jump into it. So the first one that we have here is Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. What does he ultimately do? Like, he traps you in a dream world and like, that's pretty tough, that's pretty scary. But then it's just knife fingers. And I can admire the knife fingers, you know? I don't mind the idea. If he hadn't branded it, maybe I would. But he just slashes people. Like, I can do that too. I could beat him in that sense. On one end, I would say kick their butt but let them live because I admire the knife skills. On the other hand, he murders children. And even I have some moral compass left. So honestly, Freddy Krueger, I could drink his blood like a Slurpee. Up you get. Next up, we have someone who I absolutely despise. From probably the most distressing horror movie and most offensive horror movie I have ever watched, we have Edward Cullen from Twilight. People have the audacity to say that Twilight is a paranormal romance. Excuse me? That shit is a horror comedy. It's funny on the one hand, scary in the sense that they think vampires could possibly act like that. I myself am not necessarily a vampire, but I'm sure you can work out that there's some similarities there. Honestly, offensive. A bloodthirsty vampire isn't going to settle from some deers in the woods. They're also not going to keep going to high school. They're not also going to pick the most boring girl in said high school. I know a thing or two about crushing on high school girls. Bella is boring. Is she even Italian? Edward Cullen himself, there is no other category to put him in other than would drink their blood like a Slurpee. In the sense of, I could beat him so easily. So easily. Push him into some sunlight and then suddenly he's like, oh no, this is the skin of a killer. I've killed more people. I'm 16. You're 118. Would I, however, want to drink his blood? Not particularly. I might do it so I could disguise myself as him and then, like, I don't know, hang out with Alice for a little bit and then maybe kill Bella. Next we have Pennywise, or It. Listen, it disguises itself as your worst fear, right? For me, that would probably be like having to force myself to repress my quirk and my identity again. I don't even know how he's gonna represent that. I know that technically you have to do like a ritual to get rid of it, but a bunch of 12-year-olds threw some sticks at it and it went away for 27 years. I can just pop up and do that to him whenever he pops up. Just give him a good couple stabs and he's gone. In saying that, it would really depend what he shapeshifts into. So I'm saying me and the League of Villains need to get together Losers Club style and throw a bunch of sticks at it. He's going in could kill with a friend's help. I'm slightly convinced I could do it by myself, but I'd kind of want to recreate that scene from it. I think that'd be really fun. Ooh, okay. Next up we have the alien creatures from A Quiet Place. I don't know how to stab things quietly. It's a lot less fun when you don't kind of get to do a little ha as you do it, you know? I'd be kind of interested to try and stab it to see if I could drink its blood and transform into one of those. I don't know how my quirk applies to aliens. Listen, if I tried to fight it, it'd just lash around to kill me. It's gonna go in, I ain't touching it. I can picture like me and like Ochako or me and like Izuku living in like the little farm like they do in the movie and being all quiet together. But that wouldn't last very long. I'd have to stab something eventually. Next up we have Siren Head. Siren Head isn't particularly scary. It's more the size that's the issue for me. I mean, I wouldn't even be able to slice at the back of his knees. I'd just be stabbing at its ankles. So I mean, I think Siren Head would go with kill with a friend's help. Friend would be Shigaraki. He'd just bye-bye Siren Head. Next, we got Jason from Friday the 13th. He's another like slasher type, but doesn't he have like supernatural abilities? Kind of like teleport and like sense people. His mother like tells him stuff. Honestly, me and Jason could end in a draw, I reckon. I think we'd both have a good stab at each other and walk away limping. Now the real question would be, would I win in Toga versus Freddy versus Jason? Next up we have the duplicate clones from Us. I don't know what you'd refer to them as. I'm not talking about the family in that one specifically. I'm saying if I lived in that town and there was a duplicate of me, could I be myself? The most logical answer would be, ends in a draw. I'm fighting myself. The honest answer, I ain't touching it. That shit's freaky. Next up we got an interesting one. Chucky. I mean, there's been so many variations of Chucky over the years, we're just gonna throw them all into one. Listen, he's a possessed serial killer in a doll form that stabs people in the doll form. I can respect that he still commits to his job even while being in a doll. But here's the thing, I could drop kick the little freak. Like, what are you gonna do, stab at my ankles? I can just stab at your face. I can just kick you across the room. However, he is gonna go in, would kick their butt, but let them live. Simply because he respects his gender fluid child's identity, and I can respect that. Oh, next one, we have Freddy Fazbear. Once again, there's a lot of variations of Freddy. If we're talking first Five Nights at Freddy game, well, I couldn't drink their blood like a Slurpee because he doesn't have blood, but hypothetically, yeah, I could do that. We're talking the second game, same scenario. Third game, same scenario. Fourth game, same scenario. Is he in Sister Location? I also don't remember him in the sixth one, but I'm sure he was there. If we're talking FNAF Security Breach, I ain't touching it for the simple reason that bear is a father. Freddy Fazbear is the supportive father figure I never had in my life. So I ain't touching it because I want to let Freddy live. Ooh, now we have the last one. Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil 8. I like this lady. She's a fellow blood drinker. I have a lot of respect for her. She's so much taller than me. She chains men from the ceiling. Honestly, if I could have any interaction with her, I just want to be one of her daughters. I'd hang out with the cool daughters. It's like a whole goth aesthetic, it's a whole vampire aesthetic. I'd be into the whole thing. Where would she go on this list though? Like, I like the chick. But maybe I could try replacing her. Could I realistically beat her? Ethan Winters just shoots at her with a gun. If she can be killed with a gun, I can kill her with my knives. Would I kick her butt but let her live? Or drink her blood like a Slurpee and take her place? I'd kick her butt but let her live. And then she could adopt me. Well, I'm afraid that's all the horror villains I've got time for today. We've got league business to attend to, aka it's pizza night. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you did enjoy. And let me know what other horror villains should I decide whether I could drink their blood like a Slurpee or not. Have a safe and happy Halloween if you celebrate, and if you don't celebrate, then I hope you have a decent Monday. That's all from me. Bye! Fun fact, I don't celebrate Halloween. I never have in my life. I had to go and buy these pumpkins. I don't know what I'm talking about.